Okay, it happens to be Saturday afternoon.
And we ain't in the park.
Not Saturday in the park. Every day's the 4th of July. That's the group Chicago. Saturday in the park.
I wonder if they were out.
Every day's the 4th. Hey, how the hell did my tea spill on my clipboard?
Hey!
On my pad.
That's disgusting.
I'm gonna take my shillelagh and I'm gonna have to beat up my stainless steel thermos and teach it a lesson. It dripped right on my monologue.
I'm sure it will learn the lesson too.
Well, they say everything gives off an aura, so maybe it'll feel it.
Oh,
Anyway, it's a Saturday afternoon, May the 11th,
little human.
right, 2013, and welcome to Progressive Discussions. I'm your host for Progressive Discussions, James P. Madonna of Mega Life 21, and you know what? I'm here, of course, like I am every Saturday, unless I have a big project to do on Saturday, and then normally we sometimes do the show on Sunday or Wednesday. But anyway, I am at the Newsletter Censored Research Center in northeastern New Jersey, and I will formally pipe aboard my illustrious co-host and mentor, the very founder of Newsletter Censored, in 1977, with my bosun's whistle. Exact replica of the one they used in 12th century England. I think that was during the Crusades.
They were around there somewhere.
The 12th century?
Yeah, they lasted for some time.
Yeah. The Knights Templar. In the Navy. I mean, on the ships.
In the Navy.
In the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas. That was the village people, right? In the Navy. In the Navy. You're cracking me up today. All right, here we go. We want you as a new recruit.
That's what Confucius said, you know. When women fly upside down, she have crack up.
That was good. Oh, I like that one. Arr, arr. Oh, ahoy, matey.
Ahoy.
And welcome aboard the progressive liberal pirate ship that we call Newsletter Censored and Progressive Discussions, the one and only, the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. How are you feeling, sir?
Oh, I'm not feeling so well today.
What happened?
It's not a sickness or anything like that. It's just, it seems like...
in the Navy, in the Navy.
I don't know. It seems like I'm not doing what I should be doing or something. Something like that. Even though I had a very productive day yesterday.
Should be doing what I should be doing, but I know what I should be doing.
I'm sorry,
I don't know what I was doing.
Research is concerned.
Oh, research.
As far as I don't feel that I'm doing the proper amount of time being allotted to it.
Well,
yet I did. I spent the whole day yesterday at research. No computer last night.
Oh.
No computer.
And we will discuss the perils of that.
Uh-oh.
But let me get through the least important stuff.
Oh, are we going to talk about Christie?
Chris Christie's stomach stapling? What did he get?
Maybe, yeah.
Gastric bypass or something?
LAP, yeah, lap.
Why, he ate a lap dog?
No, he got the thing, the band around the tum-tum.
He ought to get a band and duck and gorilla tape around his mouth.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Democrat, I heard this last night. Democratic senator from North Dakota by the name of Heidi Heitkamp.
Heitkamp, yeah.
And for a Democrat, she sure loves to wear red because her picture, her photo, had her in the brightest red outfit.
She's in a red state.
She's in a red state. Ah, she's in a red state. And okay. Heidi Heitkamp recently voted against doing background checks for the gun sales.
Because she's in a red state.
Now, do you see what's going on here with, when I say the word traitorous, sellout, blue dog, Democrats, do you see, like, between Heidi Heitkamp voting against background checks, you would think anybody with half a brain or common sense would say, oh, gee, firearms, of course we should do background checks, more than ever now. Oh, no, but Heidi Heitkamp votes against background checks for guns, and it's similar to Senators Dodd and Baucus, Democrats, voting against a national health care program, taking it off the table, the public option. These are Democrats that are not real traditional Democrats. They're not FDR, Truman style Democrats. No. Okay, that's Heidi Heitkamp.
Hardly anybody is today.
Right. Speaking
the
of corporatists, right? The two-party system. Now, speaking of senators, this man, and I will try to keep my composure, but it's very difficult. Now listen to this, Reverend Bill, Dr. Bill. Senator Eric Cantor, no, not Eddie Cantor from was he a singer?
No, he's a comedian.
Oh,
Eddie Cantor with the eyes.
Yeah, I thought that was Jerry Colonna.
Jerry Colonna, yeah.
They had googly eyes.
Yeah, and who was the new one? The more recent one, the funny-looking face with the eyes too. Gene Wilder. Was it Gene Wilder?
Oh, he's got his eyeballs are ready to pop out of his head. No, he's not recent. He's been around for a long time.
Well, he's recenter than Colonna.
Oh yeah. Wow. Gene Wilder, the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, among other. He was married to the late Gilda Radner of Saturday Night Live, who died of cancer. All right. Senator Eric Cantor, Republican, of course.
Second in line behind Boehner.
Really? The Weeper?
He wants Boehner's job.
He wants the Weeper of the House's job.
Correct.
Well, anyway, he's trying to get a bill passed to end overtime pay for Americans. Okay, which I assume means that if you work more than 40 hours, you get straight time. No more time and a half, right? Well, Mr. Senator Eric Cantor, that is against overtime pay, in 2013, he will work for 126 days and get paid $200,000. The man that doesn't want the little guy, mainstream, to get a decent living wage and overtime pay.
It's so clear how the Republicans hate workers and etc. And yet, who are their supporters in the red states? The workers.
The little schlubs, the little working stiffs.
It's stupid.
Well, they're stupid. You mean
I know they're stupid.
The red state.
It goes on and on.
The red state teabaggers are literally brain cell deficient. Yeah, they vote for their cult, their ideology, their crazy religious fundamentalist religious nut cult. But here's a guy that here are people in Washington in the two-party system that work less than part-time. Now this guy, this Cantor dude, he's not getting the usual $175,000 a year. He will get $200,000 a year.
Yeah, because he's second in line
for working 126 days. But he doesn't want you,
who probably barely makes 20 G's,
that lives week to week, check to check. Joe Sixpack, the mainstream American. He doesn't want you to make a living wage. He wants you not to get a whopping time and a half. Oh, gee. If you work for Walmart and you're getting, $7 or $8 an hour, let's say, which is crap with chicken feed. If you work more than 40 hours, Senator Cantor doesn't want you to make a whopping time and a half on an $8 an hour job. Oh, big deal.
And that protects who?
It only helps the corporation
Thank you.
and the politicians that got paid off by the lobbyists.
Thank you.
Doesn't help. It doesn't
and
help.
who does the voting? The poor schlub.
The poor, the idiots that keep on voting them in.
Correct.
The two-party system. Now, software, I also found out that there is a tremendous, and how come it doesn't surprise me? There is this year for 2013, for the 2012 tax season, there is a huge delay that will be months long for Americans to receive their refund checks, tax refund checks. How long?
I don't know how long, but I got a lot of people waiting.
They announced there will be a huge delay because software providers screwed up. There's a problem with the software, a glitch. Now, when they say software providers, does that mean that it's privatized?
Private contractors.
Instead of it being a government IRS software program running the tax refunds, they have an outside contract, which means that privatization once again fails.
If that's the reason.
Well, that was their answer. Software providers.
It could be
there's a glitch in the system.
It could be that they just want to hold on to the money a little bit longer.
Ah, you a schmuck cookie.
You know.
Maybe it's an excuse to not by the people in charge in Washington, the Republican Congress, an excuse not to give you your tax refund checks when you're supposed to receive them, to hold off on it. Because in reality, the right wing does not want to give you the tax refund check. The right wing doesn't want you to collect Social Security or unemployment benefits. They don't want you to collect any social services at all. So of course, since your average American looks forward to the tax refund money, and they need it more than ever, they're holding off on it. I think they're delaying on purpose. I think you might be right, Dr. Bill. They're delaying on purpose. Now, I'm going to start a little bit of Chisler's Hall of Shame. Okay. Tip workers in the food industry are still, after 22 years, are still making $2.13 an hour for 22 years. And the reason why it's been 22 years, part of it is that the National Restaurant Association, at that time, I don't know if he still leads it, led by Republican Herman Cain.
Yeah, he did. He's not there now, I don't think.
Lobbied Congress for this $2.13 an hour to remain the law, that they are allowed to pay tip workers in the restaurant industry.
$9.99.
Yeah, $9.99. So now you know the cost of living. Now you know that working on tips is like working on commission. You never know what your income is going to be week to week.
Correct.
But 22 years being stuck at $2.13 an hour. Shame. Well, it doesn't surprise me that a Republican doesn't want to pay employees a living wage. That doesn't surprise me, or pay them at all. Actually, they want slavery. But shame on you, Chisler's Hall of Shame. Shame on you, National Restaurant Association, and all the greedy restaurant owners. Also, like all those people you look up to on the Food Channel that give you the tiny portions at a high price. Shame on them too. They're all a bunch of greedy, stingy, chiseling bastards. Okay? So that's part one. Now, I want to talk about something. Is it still here? Oh, here we go. All right. A little U.S. No. You know what? Let's save the food industry thing for last. I'll start with this. There's a company that sells. There's a retail computer supply company called Micro Center. They sell things online, and they also have a catalog that you could order by phone. And they also have retail store locations, and there's one near us. Well, I know someone personally that purchased, because this person was on a budget, but I will not mention the name. This person was on a tight budget and recently purchased a gateway PC that came with Windows 7. That's another talk show. We'll touch upon that. Windows 7.
I hate Windows 7.
Windows 7, the person was cursing to high heavens and screaming about all the problems that this person was having with Windows 7, having like over 80 updates a day. And why were they having over 80 updates a day? I'll tell you why. Because Micro Center, this computer that was supposedly on sale for $250, just happened to be sitting in the Micro Center warehouse for 6 years. They asked for too much money. A 6-year in the computer industry. If a computer is obsolete after 1 year, can you imagine?
Usually 18 months.
Yeah, 18 months.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
6 years sitting in a warehouse. It should have been less than $250.
Gave it away.
It should have been a lot less than $250. So this was no bargain. This is typical American retail industry chiseling, lying to the public, making something exaggerated and making it much bigger than it actually is, sitting in the warehouse, okay, for 6 months. And actually, my brother-in-law's suggestion, the refurbished Dell with 8 gigabytes of memory that I sent you by email. Did you take a look at it? Oh, did you receive the video on how to?
No refurbished.
Okay, I don't.
Jolie.
I refuse to buy refurbished. Also.
She says no refurbished. I got her book here, Degunking Windows 7.
Right, degunk it. But we'll touch upon that. Now, what was I going to ask you? Oh, the video on how to partition a hard drive from my brother-in-law. Did you get that email?
I have 2 videos concerning dual
But did you
booting.
get the one that he sent me? Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, that's what I was planning to do.
And you watched the videos and you took notes, right?
No, I did not do that yet.
Not yet.
I said that's what I was going to do, and that's what he had to do.
Okay.
Because that looks like the only way I can do it. Step by step. Watch the video and step by step procedure.
Isn't that a doo-wop song? Step by step.
Johnny. Step by.
Maestro? No.
Step by step. I don't remember. Johnny something.
Shame on you, Chiseler's Hall of Shame, Micro Center. Shame on you, Micro Center, for making the customer think they're getting a great bargain at $250 for a gateway PC. And it's really...
Which doesn't boot all the time.
It doesn't boot. It did not boot all the time. It had to be shut down and reboot, shut down, reboot, shut down, reboot.
No, it's got a... Windows 7 has a feature where it attempts to repair. And then when it cannot repair, it asks you if you wish to restore it to a time before these problems. And then when you do that, if you happen to have installed a new program or etc., bye-bye. And you have to begin all over again.
And it also for some reason, if you you take up your programs that you have backed up in an external hard drive, and you proceed to upload them, right? Upload
Or
them,
import them, I think.
import them. Windows 7, instead of putting it in the program file, it puts it in the documents, right?
Put in a document file as files, not EXEs.
Not EXEs, and
Yeah.
then it tells you you cannot import
And believe
programs from a external drive.
me, they have a program called, Windows 7 has a program called Easy Transfer.
Oh, really?
Bullshit. Jolie says don't use it.
You know,
Crap.
there are literally tractor-trailer loads of problems and glitches with Windows. But then again, Windows is all about the big mammoth. They want you to buy all the programs and renew them and pay more money. You know, meanwhile, you get everything for free with Linux, just as good, if not better. And it's so problematic. But, you know, taking a look at Bill Gates' face, he has such a douchebag looking face that you want to punch in. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he would be sleazy, you know, and a chiseler in a way. Well, didn't the late Steve Jobs of Apple, didn't he have a lot of outsourced slave labor
They all do. I mean, that's the
in
way.
China, making the Apple laptops?
If you want to compete today, that's the only way you can do it. That's what the corporations have done. That's what the, you know.
Well, I mean, they...
That's business in America, baby.
I mean, I forgot to write it down, but Monsanto's, what was it, week-ending profit or a quarterly profit?
Quarterly.
Monsanto's quarterly profit was absolutely astronomically through the roof.
Astounding.
Astounding. And I bet a middle-class person probably pays more taxes than
Monsanto.
Monsanto.
Well, you got GE, doesn't pay any taxes.
GE
at
doesn't
all.
pay any federal taxes.
Gets a subsidy and gets a tax refund.
Yeah, but the
You don't
IRS.
pay any taxes, but you get a refund.
But
What the hell?
but the IRS sure likes to go after the little guy.
Well, that was a policy that was instituted several years ago. Go after the little guy instead of the big guy, because the big guy got lawyers. You see.
Unless the big guy does something that the fat cats or the
Then you'll just fine him.
yeah, they
That's
do.
all.
Yeah, they just slap on the wrist.
That's correct.
I mean, paying a big fine is nothing. It's a drop in a bucket to a big
They
corporation.
write it off. It's a cost of doing
Yeah.
business.
So that pretty much wraps up the dilemmas of Windows 7. So, Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Shame on you, Microsoft Corporation, Microsoft, Windows 7, and Micro Center. Shame on you. You're in the Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Now, little food talk here. All right. Let me think. Do I have any restaurants recently to bash? No, not well. Oh yeah, I do. Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Boston Market. You cheap, stingy bastards. Now, have you ever? I don't think you've never been to Boston Market before, have you?
Yes, I have.
Well, it's still the same.
Not recently.
For the high prices, I stopped going years ago. For the high prices, they put one little scoop of each side dish. You get a little tiny chicken that looks like a pigeon.
I thought you were supposed to get like a half a chicken.
Yeah, no. Oh, you know, the half a chicken looks like a half a pigeon. I don't know where they get the chickens from, but they're tiny as hell. They're not full. They're not full of steroids like the big flabby roasters in the market. But tiny chicken, and not a heaping scoop, but a little medium-sized scoop, like an ice cream scoop or size, of each side dish, and they're charging you a high
Seven
price.
something, ain't it?
Yeah, it ends up being, or more.
Ah.
You get a cornbread, yeah, you get a little cornbread, but
What's those curly Q pastas?
curly
Yeah.
Q pot.
Yeah, the spiral.
Fusilli,
Fusilli, yeah.
they got baked macaroni and cheese. They got pot pies. Oh, by the way, the pot pies, chicken and turkey pot pies, there's more potato than there is meat. They're screwing people. The same thing with Marie Calendar, the frozen dinners, frozen pot pies in the supermarket. So, cheap bastards selling at a high price, tiny portions. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Both Marie Calendar and Boston Market. Now, those of you are familiar with these nauseating primetime commercials about products that have unfortunately been around in the United States for a long time. You're familiar with Skippy peanut butter, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not my peanut butter. It's actually one of the employees of the Newsletter Censored Research Center. It's not even technically Dr. Bill's peanut butter. Okay, you see the commercial for companies like Nutella or Nutella, which is supposed to be hazelnut butter. And Skippy, or maybe Peter Pan also, but let's just say Skippy. You see commercials, and what do they have in common? They show children being given the Nutella, the Skippy peanut butter, or the Oreo cookies, and they play this commercial is about, well, when you were a kid, you grew up eating these. Now you're giving your children the same wonderful experience of eating this garbage. You know, and it's supposed to be touching. Oh, you grew up with it. Now your kids have to grow up with it, and they become sick and decrepit when they reach old age, right? Instead of living the allotted 150 years that we're designed to live. But anyway, I'm going to read the ingredients of this wonderful, and it's the same with the Nutella. It's the same